Welcome to the Legends of Boxing show on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. The Legends of Boxing show is brought to you by the Retired Boxers Foundation and MyBookie.ag. I'm your host for the Legends show, Mike Goodpaster, and my guest today was the heavyweight champion of the world from 1975 to 1980, or 1978 to 1985. Is one of the greatest boxers of all time. Help me welcome to the Grueling Truth, the Easton Assassin, Larry Holmes. How you doing, Larry?
Hey, man, I'm still hanging in, trying to pay the rent.
Well, I'm sure you don't have any problem with that, Larry. But
no.
So the interesting thing I read about you was the start of your life. You had 11 brothers and sisters growing up in Georgia. Could you tell us a little bit what your family life was like growing up in Georgia and how you got into boxing?
Well, coming from Georgia, coming here to Pennsylvania, we had opportunities to play a lot of sports. So I got into football, basketball, baseball. I just did everything that you can do, but I never had any intentions of being a boxer. So I went out there and they was boxing. I boxed, but I never thought I was going to make anything out of it. It was just something that young people were doing, and I just wanted to join in. And I got into boxing, and next thing you know, I was turning pro.
Yeah, and
that's the way that went.
And from what I've read about you and seen from some other interviews, you had a guy by the name of Ernie Butler that really had a great effect on your boxing career. You want to talk a little bit about Ernie and your relationship with him?
Well, Ernie Butler was a boxer himself at one time, and he did, move to Easton, Pennsylvania, out of New York, and he started a boxing club, and we used to go to the PAL, Police Athletic League, and we get in the ring and be boxing as a young kid. But, as I was saying, we were just having fun. But I never thought that I would go farther than that or turn professional. But when I dropped out of school, gave me nothing else to do, I worked in the car wash, I worked in the steel mills, and so I said, I don't want to do this. I give it a shot in boxing. He got me the Golden Gloves, fought there, won the Golden Glove tournament, some of the Eastern Olympic tournaments, and I thought I was pretty good. And so after 23 amateur fights, I turned pro.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing... Yeah, the other interesting thing I read was how Ernie took you to Deer Lake, and that's how you met Muhammad Ali in 1971.
Yeah, and that's how I met Muhammad. And he made me a sparring partner. He let me stay in the camp. He did a lot, and I learned the game. I worked with him for 4 years as a sparring partner, and I learned a lot. And he paid me while I learned. So, I had the best teacher, best job that anybody would ever want. And I was learning at the same time. So that helped me a great deal being around Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, then you made it to the Olympic trials finals, lost to Dwayne Bobbitt. You turned pro. One of the interesting things is I know you fought in Manila, I believe it was, on the undercard against Rodney Bobbitt when Ali was fighting Frazier. Yeah. That had to be an amazing experience.
Yeah. Well, it was, man. Excuse me first. Hold on a second. It was good to travel around with Muhammad Ali, being his sparring partner. It was amazing. I used to tell people that I was Ali's sparring partner, and they said I was crazy. You can't be Ali's sparring partner. He'll knock you out. I said, you know what? But I will be learning how to fight. And that's what I did. I hung around Ali for 1975. I learned a great deal. And I was happy, and I turned pro. And I never lost. And that because I had the experience of working around guys like Muhammad Ali. Gave me a hell of a boost.
Yeah, and then you get a shot at the heavyweight title. You fight Ken Norton in June of 1978, and This is everybody that would tell me what a great fight Joshua Wilder was. I would say, man, you need to go watch Holmes and Norton. You need to go watch Ali Frazier, Marciano, Walcott. I mean, your fight against Kenny Norton, those last 2 rounds looked like a Rocky movie.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, we fought. I mean, I thought I was winning much more than I won by, but you know what? I won the fight. That's all that mattered. Because, a lot of people doubted me. They didn't think I had the ability, the talent to become the champion. My legs were too small. I couldn't punch. I was just copying off Muhammad Ali, and I would never be a Muhammad Ali. So nobody really gave me a chance. But when I got in that ring with Kenny Norton, he put it on me as best as he can, and I was ready for him. And I come out victoriously. That my dream that came true.
Yeah, and then you had a couple fights, tough fights with guys that we've had on the show in the last month, Mike Weaver, Ernie Shavers. The Ernie Shavers fight, the second one, I think to me, from watching you as a 12-year-old, that was the fight that solidified it for me because I've never seen anybody get hit with a shot like Shavers hits you with, and then you get up and win the rest of the round and knock him out a few rounds later.
Well, you know what? I talked to Ernie about it. I teased him. He's hilarious. I was the champion of the world for 8 seconds. I was champion of the world for 8 seconds, but you got up. I never hit nobody so hard before as I hit you, and you got up. He said, I don't know how you did it, but you got up. And I said, pray from the Lord, and you always get up.
Yeah, and it seemed like most of your career, or at least early on, you had Richie Giacchetti in your corner. What was your relationship like with Richie?
We had a good relationship. We had a pretty good relationship, And, Richard, he trained me. He was there with me. He get you up in the morning. He do the things that he's supposed to do, And he.
You there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard a click. Okay, I'm sorry. So, but Richard Giacchetti was a good man, and he would be missed. And he fought for you.
Yeah, and that's hard to find, especially nowadays. Then you get the fight with Jerry Cooney, which was a fight, had the big racial undercurrents. And the thing that impressed me the most about that fight was just the fact that I had Jerry on last June, and just to hear how you guys have become friends after that mess, which was neither one of you guys' fault.
Yeah, but Jerry's cheap. He don't like to spend no money.
He said the same thing about you, Larry. He said the exact same thing about me. Yeah. Yeah. Jerry got his first dollar that he ever had. No, Jerry's a great guy, man. And I told everybody, we fighting for survival. We don't have anything personal against each other, and a lot of the people that was with him, tried to make it out of a racial thing. Don King was one of those people who was trying to make it out of a racial thing. Black against white. After, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, as long as you can fight. That's all. If you can't fight, you can't fight. But Jerry could fight, and I didn't know how well he could fight until I got in the ring with him, and how hard he punched until I got hit by it. But Jerry could do that. And you know what? To this day, people always talk shit to me about Jerry Cooney. And it makes me mad because say, he couldn't fight. He was nothing. Just a white guy. I know Jerry Cooney would knock your head off. Jerry Cooney could fight. He was just not. He wasn't put there just to be put there. He could fight. He fought his way there, and he had a hell of a fight. And I tell everybody, so Jerry had nothing to be ashamed of. He can hold his head high, and he can tell everybody he fought one of the greatest fighters of all time. He can say that. Yeah, and the thing is, he gave you more trouble than most of the guys you fought, and he gets kind of degenerate. And I think a lot of that comes from the racial undertones.
Yeah, listen, Jerry was 6'5" or 6'6". He's bigger than me. Jerry punched you hard. You know what I mean? We were both hungry. We both wanted to continue to win and everything else. And, people just try to make it out of something that it wasn't, But, after that, me and Jerry, we talked. I said, man, I don't have nothing against you. You know, I ain't no racist stuff in that because half of my family is white. How can I be racist with half of my family? My brother is married white girls, and my sister married white guys. My daughter is black, and her husband is Italian. And my little grandkids, you know what I mean? You know, my little grandkids, man, cute kids.
Yeah. And then another interesting one was Marvis Frazier, who you sparred with Joe, I think, too, and actually knew Marvis when he was a little kid.
Answer it, you know what I'm saying? I just thought we get in there, and I told Joe I'm not going to try to hurt the kid, but I'm not going to let him try to run over me. So I went out there and did what I had to do quickly to get him out of there so he didn't have to go through the pain. Listen, there's a lot of fighters out there that not doing well, you know, because of the lot of fights that they had.
Yeah.
You know, they had. And Jerry Cooney, he's one hell of a guy, man. He makes me laugh. You know, he always coming up with some kind of a joke. And he's a good guy to be with, man. I don't care what people say, you know?
Yeah, and he was a damn good. I mean, if you look at all the Golden Gloves titles he won before he even turned pro, you knew he could fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew he could. It was big, man. He was a big guy. He's still a big guy.
Yeah. It's just a shame the way – it's like the thing that makes me the maddest is when you'll see on these message boards on social media where somebody calls a boxer a bum. And I'm like, there's no way you can be a boxer and be a bum. Those people have no idea the amount of courage it takes to get in a boxing ring.
That's right. None. They don't have no idea. Well, that's the way it is. You know, people are just jealous of people. That's all.
Yeah. Then we get to Michael Spinks, the two controversial fights. But my question is not about those. I've seen those fights. I know who won those fights. My question is, without the messed up decisions, were you losing any kind of your, heart for boxing? Or was it something where it was kind of taken from you with those decisions?
Yeah, it was that. It was that. And I didn't really want to do it because there's too many people were down on me because of the Rocky Marciano record. You know, they didn't want me to break that Rocky Marciano record. So it was a lot of problems, going into the fights. And I didn't want to be bothered with it. So,
it's kind of the same crap they put. It's kind of the same thing they put Hank Aaron through with Babe Ruth's record.
Yeah, they do that. Why? Because he was a great guy, but records are made every day to be broke.
Yeah.
Who cares? I didn't want to listen. I didn't care about no record. If they remember me while I'm gone, when I'm gone, great. If they don't, what can I do? I'm dead. I don't know.
Yeah. And then a couple years.
Be happy now.
Yeah. Then a couple years later, Don King comes to you, offers you $3.5 million. You get a very short time to train for Mike Tyson. I know that I've seen you say you fought that fight for the money, but is there something in you that makes you wish you'd have said, "Could we just give me a couple more months to train?"
I did say that. That's why it was in June. It was supposed to have been the fight was supposed to be in June, then he pushed it in January. He put the slick on me, man. Don King slicked me. And I wasn't supposed to be fighting Mike Tyson in January. I was supposed to be fighting him in June. But, that's Don King. He played the game.
Yeah, and then when you look at it, you took 3 years off. What was it that brought you back again 3 years later?
Well, they came and offered me a big pot of money. When they offer you some money, you're going to come back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the only reason why I got into boxing, because I was getting paid. I was going to get paid. I got into boxing because Ali was giving me $500 to $1,000 a week to box with him. Joe Frazier was giving me money every week to box with him. So, that's why I got into boxing. So I can make some money. I can stop driving that darn truck around all over New York area, all over Philadelphia area, all over the place, and getting home late at night and not getting any bonuses for Christmas and stuff like that. So I wanted to get out of that. Boxing helped me put that truck in park, and that's all I needed.
Yeah, and I think you're one of the few guys that your comeback actually enhanced your career, because when you took down number one contender Ray Mercer, I think people gained a whole new respect for the amount of skill you had as a boxer.
Yeah. Well, I know boxing, and I told Ray Mercer, I said, Ray, listen, man, you're a good fighter, but this fight you're not going to win. I said, because I know you, and I'm going to beat you up, man. You're not going to hit me. And he said, I'm knocking you out. Everybody had built his head up that he was going to knock me out. And I had to show him that he couldn't do it. And then when I beat him, people were shocked because he was younger, stronger, but not smarter.
Yeah. And then you fought Evander Holyfield for the title, went the distance with him. My question here is, how does Evander Holyfield compare to the Ken Nortons, Ernie Shavers, all the better guys that you fought earlier in your career?
He don't. Those guys will knock him out. And when I fought Evander Holyfield, I had a detached retina. I got a detached retina about 2 weeks before the fight. The doctor say you could be blind forever if you fight. But man, listen, they had offered me $6 million to fight. So what I'm gonna do? I turn it down? No, I took the fight.
Yeah.
I went the distance. I wasn't in shape because I didn't have enough time to get in shape because the doctors kept me out. And Don King went back on his promise. Instead of fighting him in June, I fought him, earlier again,
Yeah.
But I knew those tricky things that he did. I knew about it. So I tried to get prepared for it, but what can I do? What can I do with it? I ripped directed in my eye,
Yeah. And then, of course, I can't have you on here and not ask you about your epic encounter with Butterbean.
Oh, I was just having fun with Butterbean. Butterbean is a big guy. He's strong. Never looked like he's in shape. And I knew what I could do. I knew that this guy going to come out there and he's going to try to beat me. And I'm going to have to stay away from him because he's big and strong. So, I come out there, you come out to give you $1 million, man, it's kind of hard to turn it down.
Yeah.
So I went out there and I boxed him and beat him, and he got mad at me, called me an old man, a bum and everything. And I said, well, this old man beat you. Don't call me no old man because this old man beat you. And that was it.
All right, so we'll wrap it up here because I know I told you we keep it to 15, 20 minutes. My question is, what's your take on Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder?
They're both good fighters, and they need to fight each other, and then we have to see who's the best, because both of them claiming that they're the best. But, I don't – like I told Anthony, he got to use his jab. They don't jab, man.
Yeah.
If I was 6'5", 6'6", like them guys, man, you couldn't hit me with a jab. I'd have never got hit with punches. Because my jab would have been in their face all day and all night long. They're good fighters, they need to fight, and they will fight, but I think Joshua will win. But, again, that's here to see.
All right, so what are you doing? What keeps you occupied nowadays, Larry?
Well, what I do now is make appearances and stuff like that. So if anybody wants Larry Holmes to come be a guest and talk and got a few dollars that they want to spare, they can call me at my office, 610-253-6905, or call your show.
Yep, you can.
You get in touch. If
yes,
anybody can get me, you can get me.
Yeah, you can hit me up at The Grueling Truth on Twitter, and we'll put you in contact with Larry. Do you have a website too, Larry?
Yeah, my website. My wife is running it right now because I don't know how to. She changed it and stuff like that. But it's Larry Holmes at AOL.com. That's one of them. I don't know if she changed it or not.
So you're like every other married man. Your wife runs the show.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say that she don't run the show because I'm married, man. I've been married for 38 years, so I know how to keep her cool.
Oh, yeah, the key is to let them think that they're running it while you're secretly doing it.
You got that right. 38 years.
All right, Larry, I want to thank you. I mean, it was an absolute honor. Like I said, I think, when you look at the greatest heavyweights of all time, it's you, Ali, and Lewis. I don't think anybody could really dispute that. If they do, they're crazy. But I really want to thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for coming to call. But, everybody out there on the right, they got their own rights, man. If they think Ali was the greatest or somebody else was the greatest, go ahead. Have fun with it. I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing is this. Everybody's got an opinion. And you don't really know what happens if 1965 Ali fights 1979 Larry Holmes.
Right.
It's all conjecture, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's why we laugh. We laugh.
Because I still think 1979 Larry Holmes whoops Mike Tyson in his prime myself. But
yeah, 1979 I will wipe the floor up with Mike Tyson. But hey, that's Mike Tyson.
Well, the good thing is, it seems like from the interviews I've seen you guys do with each other, that you guys are pretty decent friends now too.
Yeah, listen. Hey, I don't have a grudge with nobody, man. Listen, I don't have no grudge with nobody. We was out there trying to do the same thing, make some money, pay the rent, so we can take care of our family. I have no problem with Mike Tyson. I would invite him out for dinner, but I ain't going out to Las Vegas to do it. But if I was out there and we could get together, I would say, I'll buy dinner, man. I have no problem. So that's the way it is, man.
All right. Well, hey, I want to thank you again, Larry. I mean, hopefully we get you on maybe before Joshua fights Wilder for 5 minutes. You can give us an opinion on that.
You got it.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Larry.
All right. Okay.
All right. Thanks. All right, guys, I want to remind you, tonight at 8 o'clock live, we'll have former heavyweight contender Jose Rebalta on the show. You can go in tonight and also check out the NFL Weekly Pick'em Show. We had Jeff Christensen, who played in the NFL in the mid-'80s. Mark Cooper, who played in Super Bowl 21 for the Denver Broncos. You can hear all of our shows on iHeartRadio, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher. Wherever you find sports podcasts, you'll find The Grueling Truth. So for Larry Holmes, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.